Hello homies, welcome to a special bite-sized thumb together. I want to talk about something really fun today. The month of June, particularly this month of June, it's just been chock full of goodness. I mean, my birthday was close to the beginning. We got the World Cup going on right now and all of that sexy business. And every June we get E3. E3 is the Electronic Entertainment Expo. If you love video games, you already know what it is. I don't need to explain that to you. I like keeping track of what's going down at E3 because they always announce really cool games, and I like the video games. As you can see back there, I got a shelf full of them. They're fun. However, I am, it doesn't look like it, but I am very, very picky when it comes to video games. I'm sorry, but if I'm paying $80 or $90 for a chunk of plastic with a disc in it, it better be a good chunk of plastic. But there was a lot during this last E3 that just wrapped up that I really, really enjoyed, and I just want to talk about them just very briefly. I'm only going to talk about the ones that piqued my interest. If I talk about every game that they showcase, we're going to be here for 4 hours. But this is just going to be a really quick, breezy video about my thoughts on these upcoming games and how much damage they're going to do to my wallets. Oh my god. The first game being Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Assassin's Creed is probably one of, if not my favorite video game series ever. It's up there. It's up there, man. And I'm obsessed with all of them because they are the perfect blend of excellent gameplay with a really, really good story to boot. And Odyssey just looks like it's taken us to the next level. We got ancient Greece and it looks beautiful. I mean, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous looking game. Look at that. Look how sexy that looks. And of course, they dropped a beautiful reveal on us where we can play as either a male or a female assassin this time around. Syndicate, I think, did it really well where you had the two assassins and you could switch freely between them at any time. This looks like it's different. This is just, pick one or the other and that's who you have the whole game. I think I prefer the Syndicate way because it makes both characters important. But regardless, I'm glad we're getting some female characters up in here. I love me some of these female protagonists and I'm looking forward to playing as both of these people. Now, this is the farthest back in history we have ever gone with Assassin's Creed. And this is before Origins, which means the Assassin Order doesn't exist yet. So I'm really curious to see what the story in this game is going to be all about. Just have a modern day part, for God's sake. Don't take those away anymore. The next one is a very, very, very brief teaser for Battletoads. This dropped during the Microsoft conference, and they announced that at some point in 2019, we'll be getting a new Battletoads reboot. And all we saw was a logo, and we saw a little homage to that goddamn Rocket Cycle level and how frustrating it was. Battletoads was a very fun little franchise, and I am shocked that it never really picked up speed and took off anywhere. So I'm very happy that the Battletoads are coming back, and hopefully they're here to stay. Hopefully they become a household name now, because they deserve it. Fire Emblem Three Houses. I have been waiting for them to put out another Fire Emblem game on a console for the longest time. See, I don't own handheld things. I'm not a Game Boy person. I'm not a 3DS. I don't need to be looking at a screen when I'm on the go, because usually when I'm on the go, I'm busy. So I'm not like walking around the city being like, wow, you know what's fun? Gaming. No, if I'm in the city, I'm doing work. And thus, it's been very hard for me to own Fire Emblem games because most of them are on handhelds. But I've played the one on GameCube and I loved it. I love the whole tactical strategy RPG. I like that so much better than the turn-based RPG. One of my favorite games ever, period, was Shining Force on the Sega Genesis, and that is the same kind of deal. I had so much fun playing that game. The thought of stepping up into the third dimension and playing Fire Emblem was just, it was a simple equation for me. It was like, yes, 1 + 1 = 2. Of course I'm going to like Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem Three Houses looks beautiful. It's this stunning open world kind of thing, which is nice. That's new for the series. But we've got the tactics. They're there. We've got the whole army battling thing. It looks so good. But I'm sure I'm going to get into the story and just play the hell out of this. This comes out next spring, so we've got a ways to wait, which is good because this year's already going to be stacked. But thank you for finally putting out another console Fire Emblem, Nintendo. It's about damn time. The Last of Us Part 2. Here's the thing. I like The Last of Us, the first one. I think it's a good game. But I don't think it's an amazing game, and everybody else seems to. I think it's just a little bit overrated. The story was great. but the gameplay was just 100% mediocre. All these trailers for this game have been coming out, The Last of Us Part 2, and it's so moody, and it's like an art house piece, and you see her in the trailer, Ellie's like sitting there and she's playing guitar and she's all like, oh, I've done immoral things and my soul's going to hell. I'm like, come on, you're just like every other video game. You just make me duck behind things and shoot the guys. That's it. You are literally doing nothing special. Get over yourself. Stop playing guitar in your trailer. Come on. Grow up. Regardless of how much of a swelled head this game seems to have, it does look very fun. I really like the whole, the way they showcase the combat looks cool. Particularly just like the little touches where when Ellie gets shot at, she reacts. It's not like every other video game character where, bullets are coming by them, pew pew, and they're just like, somebody shot at me. She's like, she's running somewhere, and when a bullet hits something near her, she's like, wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. It's a little touch, but it's cool. I'm not hating on the game. I just think it's taking itself way too seriously, considering that it's just a basic third-person shooter, and that's exactly all it will ever be. But it was a fun, basic third-person shooter, and I will enjoy playing more of this story because it was fun. Now, this doesn't have a release date yet, so who knows when it's coming out. It could be 5 years for all we know. But we got a nice trailer, we got some nice gameplay, there was a hot, steamy kiss in that trailer, which was pretty cool. I'm on board. Just stop with the guitar, man. So emo. Get a room with yourself. Octopath Traveler. Like I said, I prefer the strategy, tactics elements of stuff like Fire Emblem over turn-based Final Fantasy fighting. That kind of RPG fighting just never really clicked with me. I don't feel like I'm fighting. I feel like I'm ordering things off a menu in a restaurant and then watching sprites do work while I sit back and do nothing. So I could never get on board with that. But I've tried. I have tried, and I've played some of those old Final Fantasies, and they have been fun. I just wished I could get into the story more, but the combat kind of held me back. Octopath Traveler is exactly that kind of game. It's a Final Fantasy kind of game. It's a turn-based Japanese RPG. It's coming out for the Switch, and it's very reminiscent of those old Final Fantasy games. But I want to give this one a shot. I want to try again because I really want to like this genre. Plus, I missed out. I never had a Super Nintendo when I was a kid. I was a NES to Genesis boy. So I missed out on all these really fun, Chrono Triggers and FF3s and Secret of Manas. I missed out on all of that, and from what I hear, there was a lot of goodness in those games. I mean, people can't stop raving about them. So I want to give this a shot. Octopath Traveler has all of that in spades. It looks beautiful. I mean, look at this. This is so gorgeous. It's such a beautiful use of 2D and 3D animation. Even though the colors are dim, they still kind of pop, which is nice. And there are 8 playable characters, and every one of them has a different opening story, and you get to play through all of those opening stories until all the 8 characters finally meet up, and then it's just one through line straight to the finish. And I think that's cool. I like when games play around with the narrative like this. That's original, that's clever, and I'm on board. Pokemon Let's Go. I don't know how many times I've beaten this dead horse and said that Nintendo needs to make a 3D Pokemon game on a console so I don't have to hold a thing like this while I play a game. And they finally listened to me. I think. I'm assuming they only listen to me. I'm assuming that my voice is the only voice that they go to for help. Pokemon Let's Go is... it looks like it's just basic, Generation 1 Pokemon Yellow, but on a Switch in HD with beautiful, shiny, colorful graphics and all that fun stuff. They're revamping things a bit, but essentially it's just like that first Generation 1 Pokemon game. Again, which I never really got to play because I didn't have a handheld. But Nintendo is throwing it onto the Switch. They're making it different and exciting and bigger, I hope. And just like always, they can't just make one friggin' game. They made 2. They made one where you can start off with Pikachu and one where you can start off with Eevee. Why I can't just have that be a selection in the opening menu and condense it into one game, I don't know. Nintendo is not known for making rational decisions. They just kind of do their own thing They just stampede and, like, God help you if you're in their way because they're not moving. This game is finally a game that exists. Well, it's going to exist. It's coming out at the end of the year, but that's exciting, and I might try it out. This isn't a definite buy for me, because if they're pulling that shit where you have to buy both if you want to get all the Pokemon, then no. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nintendo, but no. Absolutely not. No. Regardless, I'm glad this finally exists, and now I can stop complaining about it not existing. And last but not least, I actually last but most, because I saved the best for last in this case. Nintendo's press conference won the day for me as far as I'm concerned, between Octopath and Pokemon, and then this. Now, I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But in this case, you'd be wrong. As far as I'm concerned, there is no game more overrated than Smash Brothers. I'm sorry. I mean, haters gonna come at me for that, but I don't care. I don't get it. I don't get what the appeal is for that game. I really don't. It's just button mashing. It's just a fighting game where you mash buttons and people fall off ledges, and that's it. I don't understand the point. That's not what got me excited. What got me excited was another game that started with the same word, Super Mario Party. Mario Party 1 was my life, okay? It was my life. You don't understand how much I played that game. People can play a game until they get like 100%. You know, they got like, I have 100%, I got all the collectibles, I did all the quests, etc., etc. Mario Party, I played till I got like 150%. I just could not stop playing that game. And it was the kind of game where you could keep unlocking stuff the more you play. So it's not just like, yeah, let's just play a board and that's it, now we're done. The end. That was Mario Party 10. Zing. But no, there was stuff to unlock, there was stuff to find, and it looks like they're finally doing that again. They're going back to basics, they're getting rid of that car. You know what? The car didn't even bother me. The Mario Party car, I didn't like it. It was definitely worse. But it didn't bother me as much as the one big thing about Mario Party 10 that bothered the hell out of me, and that was the goddamn amiibos. How dare you lock away half the content of your game to be accessed only by people who own all the amiibos? For shame, Nintendo. That was a shameful friggin' move. I have not heard one word about amiibos during the whole thing for Super Mario Party, and I think that's a significant sign that Nintendo has learned their lesson, and the amiibos are going in the trash where they belong. And we're getting an actual game that you can just friggin' play with a controller, where all the characters are moving about on a board of their own free will, they're not sequestered into a car, and everybody's got their own little special character-specific dice, so you can roll character dice or the normal dice, and there's new boards and new games, and oh my god, this looks so delightful. I cannot tell you how giddy this made me. As soon as I saw this news drop and I watched these videos, I spent the last like 5 days thinking about nothing but Mario Party, and like looking back on my Mario Party memories, and like just watching old gamers on YouTube who I used to enjoy, watching their old Mario Party videos, because it took me back, man. And if Nintendo's smart, this new Super Mario Party is gonna have tons of shit right out of the gate, and tons more shit to unlock the more you play, because that's the fun of it. It does something to your brain. It does something very positive to your brain. When you finish playing a game of Mario Party and you've had a bunch of fun and you're sitting there with your friends and you're like, wow, that was really fun. Look, we played for this many turns and you won and I lost and blah, blah, blah. And then the screen goes black and it's about to go back to the main menu. But before it does, a little thing pops up and says, you unlocked a new minigame because you earned 5,000 coins. That is so sweet. It's like little pieces of sex for your brain. The first Mario Party had little things like that, and I think a few of the others did too. I didn't own them all. I've owned like number 1, number 2, and number 10, and that's it. Number 10 did not do that at all. So I hope that we get back to basics with this and they start doing that. Because if I'm playing Super Mario Party and we're all having a great time, and then that particular game ends and it says you unlocked a new board, or you unlocked a new character, or a new outfit for your character, or a new dice or something, I'm gonna cry with joy. I'm already about to cry with joy right now. And you know what? You can even bring back the car as like a different mode. As if like, hey, if you want to try a different mode than normal Mario Party, you can try it with the car, because that's a whole different strategy. And we'll throw in like 3 boards that are specific boards for the car. There you go. Have fun. I'd be down with that. I'm sure you would too. If you can, the more the merrier. If Smash Brothers Ultimate has taught us anything, it's the more the merrier. So Nintendo, you certainly won the day as far as I'm concerned. Thank you so much for giving me Super Mario Party. Thanks for the Pokemon and the Octopath Traveler too. Those look like a lot of fun. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy them. And the Fire Emblem, I can't forget that. But that was my E3 Roundup. Thank you so much for watching it. Let me know in the comments, what was your E3 Roundup? What did you enjoy the most about this year's E3? What games are you looking forward to? What games do you not give a crap about? Chime in. Talk to me. I'm here to listen, baby. I'm like a therapist, except I don't get paid and I can't help you solve your problems. Also, if you're a gamer who likes live streams of gaming things, then you need to check out a stream by my good friend, Mr. Ryan Joseph Whitehead, who works for Microsoft, and he does a stream every Tuesday and Thursday between 7 and 10 p.m. He's on Mixer, and his Mixer channel is Easy Play Canada, and you can find him by going to mixer.com/EasyPlayCanada. He's a good buddy of mine. I've been on his show a couple times. You think I like video games? No. I don't. I don't compare to this man at all. Check him out. You will love him. Also, my other good friend, Mr. David Schilling, has his own channel, Chilling with Schilling, and he is going to be covering a lot of game content on there very soon. So you can check him out as well right over here. And all those links will also go in the description below. I'll see you here next time. Until then, adios.